Hi, my topic is the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, which relates to the theme of fundamental freedoms. When and where did this happen? The shooting happened in Newton, Connecticut at Sandy Hook Elementary School on Friday, December 14, 2012. The shooter was Adam Lanza, and he was 20 years old at the time. So what happened? Lanza arrived at his mother Nancy's house and shot her multiple times in her sleep. He then took his mother's legally owned guns and drove her car and headed to Sandy Hook Elementary School. He arrived at 9:30 a.m. Using the guns, he shot a total of 26 people, along with his mother, which adds up to a total of 27 people. The victims were first graders ages 6 and 7, 4 female teachers, the school principal, and the school psychologist. The weapons he used were assault weapons, which were legally owned by his mother. Soon after firing the shots, Lanza also shot himself at the scene. Background information about Lanza. He was a quiet and withdrawn kid, and he stood out from others his age. His mother, Nancy, tried her best to support him since she noticed how he stood out from the other kids. Later in his middle school years, he was diagnosed with Asperger's disease, which is a form of autism. This explained why he was a shy and withdrawn kid, yet it did not correlate to violence. This doesn't justify any of the violence that was experienced at Sandy Hook, since this autism didn't relate to it. Even after many investigations, there was still no discovered motive, and he did not leave any messages behind. Nancy often took Adam and his brother to shooting ranges as a fun activity. It was a way for them to bond. Some say that this was a mistake, since this is an activity that correlates to guns and violence. However, as a child, he never displayed any form of this violence. After the shooting, there were many protests and chaos regarding the gun control debate. Gun control advocates could not handle seeing more violence and deaths. On the other side of the spectrum, however, others felt that there are already enough restrictions. Gun rights activists feel that gun control would take away the Second Amendment right to bear arms and restrict our fundamental freedoms. The afternoon of the shooting, President Obama gave a speech. He was grieveful and said that action must be taken to stop the violence. On the other side, the National Rifle Association, or the NRA, wanted to fight to protect gun rights and the Second Amendment, since they believed that it was a fundamental right and taking it away would violate the Constitution. On January 24, 2013, the assault weapons ban was introduced. This ban would ban assault weapons such as the one Adam had used at Sandy Hook. There was a lot of backlash from gun rights activists because they thought that it is necessary. The court saw it necessary to protect the people, since assault weapons are designed for killing instead of self-defense. They believed that this would only protect people and wouldn't take away Second Amendment rights, which are intended for self-defense and protection. This was a bill, and when it came time to vote, the vote was 40 to 60, and 60 being the opposing side, so the bill never passed and never came into practice. Citizens of the United States recognize the importance of basic rights that are in the Constitution and are entitled to every citizen. There should usually be a balance between freedom and security, since both are valued. Oftentimes, however, to achieve the general safety of the public, our fundamental freedoms have to be compromised. If we lived in a world with complete freedom, there would be no rules to protect us from criminals and those who want to harm us when violence is an issue. As a country, it's important to find methods of decreasing such violence. Unfortunately, such methods may take away some freedoms to maintain general safety. With Adam Lanza, the assault weapons he retrieved were legally owned by his mother, who was a regular citizen. He had easy access to a weapon capable of shooting 26 people multiple times and killing them in under 10 minutes. Such a lethal weapon should not be readily available to regular citizens for means of self-defense. That is not to say that we must give up our rights. We must protect them. While methods of gun control restrict our freedom, in specific cases, our security and lives should be prioritized. Sometimes our security is more important than our freedom, and in this case, our freedom would not completely be taken away, but sometimes we have to make this compromise in order to achieve the general safety of the public.